So far, traveling through Belgium on a canal boat has felt like stepping into a medieval fever dream.
In the medieval. Look at that behind me.
With towns so perfect, they feel almost suspicious, like we're on a movie set and waiting for the crew to arrive. And the beer, well, let's just say that Belgium doesn't dabble in mediocrity.
Hey, look at this. Yeah, it's just so delicious.
I mean, this is home to the undisputed best beer in the world, which at the end, we will judge for ourselves. But from the velvety triples to the tart lambics that make your taste buds dance, every pour tells a story. And while it wasn't really intentional, I think we've saved the best for last.
Biking culture here is a huge deal. There are bike paths, bike lanes, special bike bridges, all these different signs that are for bicycles versus cars versus pedestrians. It is totally a thing here. A lot of people just ride bikes, don't even have cars because the public transportation is so great. Kind of like a dream place. That's what I've always wanted in a city. One thing that's super interesting, they take bike riding so seriously that it's against the law to ride with your cell phone. Just like it's against the law to drive with your cell phone. Here, if you're caught riding your bike while on your cell phone, you lose your driver's license for 2 weeks. That's right. An infraction on a bicycle, you can lose your actual automobile driver's license. This is pretty wild.
Look where you're going. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're supposed to turn there? I don't know what they think about riding with a camera.
Probably just as bad as a cell phone. It's a beautiful day.
It is a gorgeous day.
Oh, you tell people that you're gonna go rent a narrow boat or a canal boat in this part of the world at the end of October, and people are like, oh, and it's not the best time of year. Directions. But I would say at least 70 to 80% of the days have been amazing. So for the price break, I say it's totally worth it. And to beat the crowds, totally worth it. Yeah. It is gorgeous today. I am hot. I am way too hot with just a raincoat on.
And we're in the city.
Just like that.
10-minute ride. That was quick.
Yeah.
Clearly there's a serious bike culture. Look at this parking spot. I did notice a couple locals, they would jump off their bike real quick, they'd push a button and it would lock. Ooh. Like a wheel. So it's just like a button that would just clamp down on their wheel.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too dangerous to try to ride around on the bikes in the middle of the city. That's for locals and experts only. I got way too much to look at. I'm gonna hit somebody or something. So I'm a danger to myself and everybody around me riding the bike. Best to walk.
Not worth the risk.
Ghent is sort of like Bruges in that it's almost too charming. It feels like a movie set. But the vibe here is different because it's a university town, so there's an extra vibrant buzz to the air. And it even has a cheeky nickname that's carried over from the Middle Ages, the Rebellious City, due to its history of defiance and resistance against authority. And it seems they are passionate about keeping their reputation.
Well, that was quite interesting. I will say all that black smoke coming out of that one rocket was pretty crazy. Kind of look up and you could see all those medieval buildings and you think, yeah, they've probably seen a lot of that, those buildings. Pretty wild.
One of the beautiful things about sitting down at any little cafe is the fact that they have a beer list. And the beer is not just like your standard Bud Light or Miller Lite or whatever you might find in America, like your standard bar or restaurant. It's a list of 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 different types of beers, and several that I've never heard of, several that we have heard of, and all of them are unique. This is a Art de Velde Grand Cru. It's a dark beer. Grand Cru usually means higher alcohol. This one is 7.3, so everything here is high alcohol. Dark, smooth, sweet but not sugary, beautiful Belgian flavors, not bitter at all. Oh, it's delicious. It's like when it's just right. And it's just right so many times here. I love it.
We're just joining in on what everybody does here. It doesn't matter, tourist, local, well really any time of day is beer time of the day, but it seems like around 4 o'clock everybody starts to hit the cafe scene and everybody's getting their beer. So we're just doing what everybody else is doing. And I've got a triple here from St. Hubert. It's good. It's nice and crisp. It's got a little, you taste a bit more of the hops on the finish on that one. So that's quite interesting for that one. Sometimes you taste the hops, sometimes you don't, but it's never strong.
Mussels are also very popular here. These actually came from the area right by where we picked up our boat from a little town called Zealand. Not New Zealand, which I originally thought when I saw mussels on the menu, they're from a town called Zealand. And of course, they're delicious, they're fresh, they're always served with fries. And if I was talking to myself 10 years ago, the thought of sticking fries into mayonnaise would have grossed me out. But it totally works.
And here their mayo's good. The Belgians like it with lemon.
Belgians like the mayo with lemon. It's delicious. It's not sugary. It's just fresh. It's very good.
All right, it is said that it is the Belgians that invented the fries, not the French. So don't call them French fries, they are Belgian fries.
Or just good fries.
Or just fries. Or chips, depending on where you are. It's all very confusing.
The chips people, they're just all weird.
No comment.
So let's talk about personal privacy for just a moment, which is ironic. I get that coming from someone who posts their entire lives on the internet, but stay with me here because the online stuff is actually the issue. Because the internet is a wide open ocean full of cyber pirates just looking for data to loot, which is why we need a shark to keep them at bay. No, not that kind of shark. I'm talking about Surfshark VPN, today's sponsor. Because our chances of getting hacked, no, not that kind of hack. Jeez, Jason, no more scary movies for you. Or having our passwords stolen are far greater than our chances of having pirates board our vessel, which is why we use Surfshark VPN, because it is an app and web browser extension that encrypts our personal data and helps keep the connection between our devices and the web safe and private. Plus, it has other features and uses too, like alternative ID, so that I don't have to share my name, my address, or even my email address if I don't want to. Plus, it serves as our ad blocker and allows us to change our IP address to virtually place ourselves anywhere in the world to avoid geo-restrictions on streaming sites like Netflix or even on government websites when we're trying to file paperwork abroad. And it has been an invaluable tool for us, which is why we are very proud to have the support of Surfshark. And right now, if you scan the QR code on the screen or head over to surfshark.com/wins, then they will give you 4 extra months for free. Plus, they are running a special for the holiday season on top of the extra 4 months, but it will end soon. So scan the QR code on the screen, or I will make sure to leave a link down in the description box below.
So this is pretty typical for an abbey. It's beautiful buildings on beautiful grounds, and monks started brewing beer because back in the day, well, there's 2 reasons actually. Water wasn't safe to drink, and number 2 was the upkeep of these beautiful grounds. So they would sell to the local communities. They would brew like a low alcohol version that they would have for themselves, and then they would also brew like a high gravity version for Lent and other special occasions. And that is truly the Trappist ale that we know and I love today.
It's also beautiful and peaceful, and you can see why it was built by monks, or I guess it feels like it was built by monks, and it feels very spiritual in all the halls and the rooms, and you can kind of imagine what it would have been like in
800.
You know, I mean, it's just a little bit crazy to think about how different life would have been back then. Yet, if you go to an abbey today, monks are still living a very similar lifestyle.
Before we came to Belgium, I thought an Abbey ale was just a style of beer. But what I found out here is there's like this designation. And what's really special is the Trappist ales, because there used to be only 13 in the world, and we've lost a few in the past couple years. So now I think there's only 10. And 5 of those 10 are right here in Belgium. Unfortunately, none of them are close to us, so we're just at this abbey, showing you around. So we were walking and talking about beer, and a guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you like Belgian beer?" I said, "Yeah, I love Belgian beer." He said, "Well, I'm actually a volunteer here. Here's 2 coupons to go taste some of our local beer from this neighborhood." How cool is that?
I know.
Like, I think if you just love beer, if you just love beer and talk about it, then somebody's gonna let you taste one, because they're so affordable here. Salud. Oh,
Yummy.
this one's fruity.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mine is throwing off our lines, and that'll be that.
I put on the radio and I turn the lights down low. I sway with you to whatever is on.
One journey is over and another begins.
'Cause you've been working hard and you earned your battle scars. Let me hold you like a queen, but tonight let me grow. Let me bend and break. Let me be your shelter at the end.
It's cold.
But after all these years, no matter where we stand, you'll always be my woman. I'm proud to be your man.
Isn't that the cutest little bus stop ever?
A little bit of a drizzly day today, and unfortunately our windshield wiper stopped working, so I've been going out there intermittently and being the windshield wiper man. It's no big deal. It's not too cold outside. It's a little chilly. And then, of course, it's a boat, so things always happen all at the same time. So our defroster also stopped working, so we're using the little plug-in heater as our windshield defroster. The funny thing is, when we send them a message and say, "Hey, the windshield wiper stopped working," they're like, "Oh, do you want us to send somebody out? We'll send somebody out right away." And we're like, "No, we're almost there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We don't need you to come all the way out here to fix this." But we did make really good progress. We are getting close. We're not gonna make it tonight, I don't think.
It's our last lock. The locks are fun. They're like elevators for boats.
We didn't do this lock on the way in. It's just ready, it was open. We just
Flew right through. Yeah. Going down, please.
'Cause you're the heart I need and the kindness you've given me. You made me the man I am tonight. Let me grow with you. Let me bend and break. Let me be your shelter at the end of the day. Well, after all these years, no matter where we stand, you'll always be my woman. I'm proud to be your man.
All safely tied up. So our last little spot to tie up. There's kind of a crazy little dome thing down there, so we're gonna go, I don't know, check out the neighborhood before it's totally dark. These people have a nice garden.
just a shelter, 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 shelter. This little marina thing, they call it a free marina. because it's free to tie up. And they have a little pedestal here so you can get water and electricity, and you pay like with an app. So we didn't download the app, so we won't be getting any of that.
We haven't needed it so far. We've been able to make it, so I think we'll be all right for our very last night. And because it is our very last night, this is an exciting night for Jason, because this is the day he has been waiting for.
Hello.
You also the same jacket?
Yeah.
We also.
Can I get a shot?
Yeah, sure.
Hello.
It's rough.
Ruff. Oh, hello.
It's a Griffon Brussels.
What a beautiful
You see
dog.
them much in America and you see them much in England.
Oh, you are very wet. You're very cute.
Dog. Are you with the boat?
Yes.
Yes,
I've
yeah.
seen you coming in.
We just-
Welcome.
I don't know if we can see it, but point it out.
Here's another tower. You know me and towers. Just had to start walking towards it, even though it's raining.
Look at that. One last Abbey. You think they make beer in there?
I can't look at any more beer. I'll show you why later.
You made it. Well, we made it to the tower.
Got our exercise in.
That's right. And now, back to the boat.
I have a buying problem, not a drinking problem, and this has always been the case because somehow we ended up with, I have 6 big beers and like 4 small beers. That's more beers than what we came on the boat with. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I wanted to talk about, but anyway, we just had so much fun in town and then at the Delirium Brewery that I feel like I'm not going to dive really deep into these. But quickly, I just want to share one thing. This one here is made from spontaneous fermentation. This is a creek or a crike, and it's basically the same thing but with cherries. And these, I've had them in the lambics and crikes before in the US, and they're very, very sweet. And we were told that when they're commercially made and they're not done spontaneously, then they have like a lot more sugar, a lot more sweetness. These were very, very nice. This is a really special one that I wanted to drink, but I haven't got
So
around
we'll
to
save
it yet.
that for we're gonna take it back.
Yes.
Back to the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
These,
This is
Right
what brought
here.
us here.
Westvelteren, St. Sixtus Abbey. It's a Trappist beer. And number 12 is the undisputed best beer in the world. Undisputed, that's right. That's what I said. Never tasted it. That's what I've read. So we're gonna go for it.
We're gonna see for ourselves if this is really the best beer in the whole world. Because at this point, we've tried a lot of different beers just in the last 12 days or however long it's been since we've been here and on this trip. And there have been some excellent ones. A couple that have made our like 9 and almost 10 list. 1 to 10. 10 is the best you can possibly get. We've been ranking all of our beers, and now we're about to try.
We're going all out because it's the last night.
There's an excellent bottle shop in Brussels. We went there a couple of different times when we first landed. This is where we got a couple of these beers. Well, several beers. We bought too many. Yeah. That's what's made it on the trip with us. And then he bought the glasses too, because of course you cannot drink the beer in an improper glass. That would just be doing it wrong.
I think it might be against the law here in Belgium.
They just probably would revoke our visa and like put a stamp somehow on our passport that says you're not allowed back.
But what's beautiful is these glasses are like the small size, so I can't quite get the right head. The head is supposed to be a little bit larger.
Don't make excuses.
Oh, okay, well.
This is a big moment. You've been waiting for this.
I have been. So we're gonna try this one first. 8% alcohol. This is the blue one, and 12 to 16 degrees.
A lot of people, well, specifically, so our Curiosity crew over on our website, because they always get all the behind the scenes updates. You can join the crew if you want the behind the scenes updates. There were several people that have all said, okay, when you go, you have to also try all of them, but specifically try the 8, because there's some people that think the 8 is better.
Quite delicious, very smooth. A slight bit of
It's a little bitter.
at the very end, a little bitter, which is surprising because most of the beers here are mostly malt and they're very smooth and
Not they're all over the map. I think that's the thing. There is this.
Yesterday we had a coconut beer and it was delicious.
I know, right? A delirium. Speaking of, the beers here are all over the map. They really play with all the flavors and all the ingredients. There's so many that have different herbs in them, and I really like that. There's so much flavor in all the beer. So saying that one is the best, I find that so difficult. I'm sure there are some experts with really fancy palates that are highly trained, and I get that. And that's a good beer. But is it better than some of the others that we've had?
This one might change your mind. It's quite nice.
Ooh, is it going to get a 10?
I wanted to come here to taste this beer specifically, and because I love Belgian beers in general, and I've just been blown away by the people, by the beers, by the bars, by the mussels, by the... Everything has just been so wonderful. I'm so happy we came here.
I've never really heard that much about Belgium. Like, there's not
They
a
don't
big...
really advertise in America for tourism here.
Yeah, I guess. So it's not been on our radar as much as maybe other destinations. Like, everybody knows of Paris and Rome.
Germany.
And yeah. And so I feel like there's other countries that get maybe a little bit more hype as far as like places to visit. And Belgium was just never one of those that kind of hit our radar. But of course it has because of its beer. And I'd say that's a very good reason to come here. But aside from that, beautiful, absolutely stunning cities. People are exceptional, so very friendly, felt very welcome, and food's great.
Canal boat was fun. You could do the same exact trip on a bicycle. You could do the same thing in an RV.
I would argue the next time I come, I would like to do a bicycle trip.
Bicycle, yeah. There's so many inns to stop at during summer. You could just bike, stay at an inn, bike, stay at an inn. Oh my God, you could drink so much beer.
It always comes back to beer. Okay, back to the beer.
Okay.
I will say, I do like the 12. This one's good, but it's not as good as the 12. The 12 kind of comes at you with the extra punchy flavors.
Yeah, nice, rich flavor, viscous, but not too thick.
Yeah.
Not sweet at all, not even sweet or sugary. It's like...
The weird thing is, the beers taste fruity, but without being sugary. And that's obviously, it's very intentional. That's what they're going for, because it can't be too sweet. They don't like their beers too sweet, but they don't like them overly bitter.
Like they said at Delirium, it's all about the yeast, and that's what's special. Each abbey, each brewer, everybody has their own yeast, and that's what makes the beer so different.
It does. Their beers are excellent, and they have this underlying tone, I feel like, in almost every Belgian beer that we've tried. And every time you're like, yep, that's a Belgian beer. Like, it is, you can taste the difference. And then, not to say that there aren't amazing beers from other places. Yeah. There are, obviously. Some of our favorite beers come from
America.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Belgian-style beers from America are also beautiful.
Exactly, but they do taste different.
We came all the way for this beer and other things. I think it's great. I'm going to give it a 10. It might be the best beer in the world.
Are you serious?
I think so. It could be.
It's lived up to the hype.
It's lived up to the hype. Yeah.
You've never ever had another beer that's knocked your socks off more than that. Oh
yeah, for sure. I've had other 10s. This is a 10. Okay. I mean, there's a few beers in the world that are 10s, and this is one of them, I think.
Okay.
And I mean, I think Delirium is just as good, just totally different. And I think Golden Drac, we had one of those the other day, and it's beautiful. Yeah. And you can have the exact same beer in America, and that's the most amazing thing.
Yeah. The fact that you don't have to come all the way here for this, but if you do want these, they are very hard to come by. You can get them on the internet occasionally. Some people hawk them there. But if you want the full experience, you're going to have to show up to Belgium and come and get it. Yeah. Anyway.
Thanks for being on this adventure with us, guys. Hopefully we didn't bore you with too much beer stuff.
But if you do
too many towers.
Want to know some of our favorite beers, we will, all the beers that we had, I'll put a little list on the blog post along with our ratings next to them. I'm not going to give you the tasting notes and everything else. Probably not going to go that crazy. But that way you can at least see what some of our favorites were. If you want to try them, look for them at your local bottle shop.
Peace! What's that?
No. Bye. But aren't we going to show the croissant guy in the morning?
Oh.
We'll leave you with that.
Yeah.
We have a friend coming in the morning.
Marcel is here. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Jam. Strawberry jam. Very little sugar.
And we have croissants.
Two croissants.
Warme bakker, not super.
Just butter.
Warme bakker.
Ah, perfect.
I have a cadeau for you.
A what? Ooh, walnut or some sort of...
Walnut or chestnut?
What do you call it? Cadeau.
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 It's French.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, from your house.
Yeah. Ah. Well, what do I owe you for all this? How much money?
9.
9. He is in his 70s. He's
No,
been
it was 80s.
80s. Oh wow, he's in his 80s. He's been riding his bike for the past 20-something years here.
There we go.
Just to check on the boats because this free marina's here, and he just checks on the boats and said, "Do you need some food? Do you need anything?" And just gives them something nice to do for people and a way to make maybe a little bit of money, but it's not really, doesn't seem to be about that.
It's just about meeting people.
I want to be like that when I'm 80.
Yeah.
Riding my bicycle all around, rain or shine.
It's so funny when we met him yesterday on the little bike path. He was like, "Oh, okay, clearly you're not from around here. You must be on the boat." So that's how we had the conversation. And it was like, yeah, sure. Bring some jam and some croissants. That sounds great. As soon as he rode away on his bicycle, Jason's like, "I want to be like that man whenever I get his age." That's what I want to do. I want to just like ride my bike around and talk to people.
Take care of people.
Yeah.